everybody. Good evening. It is Thursday. It's about 10 minutes to 8. I just want to check and make sure we're live. Okay, yes, I think we're good. Okay. All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to Michelle's Stamp and Craft Corner. Tonight I want to teach you a technique that I've been seeing all over YouTube, Facebook, Stampin' Up! World, and introduce you some of the new ink colors that we're going to be going live on May 2nd, I believe. The new catalog's coming out. So you can see here, this is the new catalog. And I can't show you the inside, but I can show you some of the fun new colors, so I'll be doing that tonight. And then also I wanted to talk about something that I'm doing this month, Cards for Kindness. Now, this is an organization that actually, and this is my little cheat sheet here, it's an organization that has you send their homemade cards to them, and then they send them out to hospitals, crisis centers, cancer foundations, retirement homes, any other kind of place that, you know, deals with people who are maybe not having such a great time, that are having some difficulty. And I just know that you know, everything that my family has gone through over the last years or whatever, sometimes we forget that cards could be really just brighten somebody's day. So what happens is they take these cards, they give them out to the hospitals or cancer centers, retirement homes, veterans homes, and the nurses or the staff members, the counselors, the volunteers, they add handwritten messages into these cards, and they give them to the patients or the children, anybody that needs them. So I am participating. I know a few of my friends are interested, and we're going to be participating. So if you are interested in doing this, I'm going to have a couple of nights where you can come and you can just make cards. It's free. You can just come and make cards and we can send them out. Or if you're interested in making some cards at home and want to get them to me, I can definitely package them up with the cards we make here and send them out. So just a little something fun. I thought that would be a nice thing to do for the month of April, and I may be doing this throughout the year too, because I just think it's something really worthwhile. So if you're interested for Cards for Kindness, let me know. Okay, so tonight I'm going to be featuring some of the new ink colors. So some of the new ink colors that we have are Peach Pie. We have Petunia Pop. And this is a returning color, but it's new ink color for the 24-26 year, is Pretty in Pink. So what I wanted to show you tonight is that with an embossing folder, now this is one of the embossing folders that's in the current catalog. This is called Painted Texture 3D Embossing Folder. And this is what an embossing folder looks like. And basically what it is just you open up the folder, you put a piece of paper inside, you close it up, you run it through your Big Shot, and you are good to go. And it's going to come out, what did I do with the one I have? Oh, here it is. And it's going to come out with a textured look like this. And it's kind of hard to see on the camera, but you can actually see the ups and downs. It's actually embossed this. It's actually given it texture. And what I want to do tonight is, this was just a simple card I threw together real quick. And as you can tell, I colored it to make my own DSP or my own designer series paper. So this is what we're going to do tonight. I also wanted to show you a new stamp set that's coming out in the new catalog. This is so cute. I love this stamp set. It's called Hearts and Hugs. And I love this little chipmunky guy here. So you can see I used him in my card. And it has some great sayings in this one as well. sending a big hug, so it's there when you need it. I could just hug you, sending birthday hugs, thanks. And it has the walruses, the badgers, and the little mouse. So I just thought this was such a cute stamp set. So we're definitely going to use this tonight. And then I'll show you the technique and we'll get started making a card. Okay? So basically what you're going to do is you're going to take, I decided to take 3 colors. You can do whatever you want. I am using my blending brushes tonight. These are blending brushes. You could use the little foam, where are they? You could use the little foam daubers. Take one of these out and show you what they are. Like this. Okay, you just kind of stick your finger in like that. And you can, you could daub the paper, but I'm going to use my blending brushes tonight. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of cardstock. I'm going to slide it into my embossing folder like this. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it through my emboss machine. And when it comes out, it's going to look like this. So I'm going to take this, and then I'm just going to color this. Now, in the card I did, I only used a small piece. You can see like I left some of the white here. But I went pink, peach pie, and then petunia pop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pink and my little blending brush here, and I'm just going to kind of dab this into my pink. You can see I have some ink on there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off the paper first and kind of just rub it through. Now you can definitely do this as light or as dark as you want. If I didn't do this, see how all that ink is like kind of concentrated in the one side? So I do like to start off the paper first, because I can always go back and I can always add if I want to. When I'm content with that, I'm going to go to my peach pie, do the same thing in the center, starting off my paper and kind of going through. And it's okay if I'm blending into those other colors. As you can see, kind of gives it an ombre look. I'll just kind of do this as dark as I want it. And there's no right or wrong way to do it. You do it to your liking. Then I'll go to my petunia pop. Make sure you can see what I'm doing here. And then I'm going to do the same thing with my petunia pop. Making sure I blend those in. Starting off the paper. And I think I like that. So now I've just created my own DSP, my own designer series paper. And you can do this with any type of embossing folder. Anything you have. If your embossing folder is very specific, like it has flowers, you could take the daubers that I showed you before and you could color in just the leaves and then take another color and color in the flowers, however you want to do that. Okay, so that is how you use your embossing folder. So again, you could do the same thing with this little piece, and that's my dog barking. If I take my, and you can see I don't really start off the paper, it gives it a real dark look. But you really can, oh, let me close the door, hold on. Sorry about that. My dog hears something outside and has to bark to let the world know that there's somebody outside. And again, you know, like I said, this is super easy. And you can see how quickly I can just kind of put this together. And again, starting off that paper, and I can do this as light or dark as I really want. Okay. So again, you know, you could make this 100 different ways. I could have went vertically. You know, I could go this way. And it just gives you so many options to make your own paper. You know, to add some texture to your cards. And to use those embossing folders that we all have that sometimes like we forget about. So again, you know, there's a, and it's quick. It's very simple. It's very easy to create. And it's pretty. So, all right. So let's take this. I'm going to kind of move my ink out of the way real quick. Okay. All right, so let's assemble a card while we're at it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my in colors, and I'm going to, this time I'm going to grab a piece of the Petunia Pop. I'm going to cut this down to, this was a sheet of 8.5 by 11. I ripped a piece off for a scrap. So I'm just going to cut this at 5.5, which would give me my card size. I'll use this for scrap later. I'm going to take my card. I'm going to fold this in half. I'll grab my bone folder. I'll just give this a really good crease. Okay. And I had already cut this down, but I think I'm going to cut it down a little bit more. I usually do 4 by 5.25. That is, well, it's actually smaller, so let's do this one by 5 then. Give it a little bit of border on here. Then you could also, what you could do to give it a little bit more dimension is you could take a piece of white paper, and this is a really great way to start using up your scraps. I actually put my scraps in a Ziploc bag so I can find and just pull it easily and kind of always pull it out. So I could take a piece of cardstock. And I'll cut this down to 5.25. By 4. And I can actually get 2 pieces out of this as I'm cutting here. I know you probably can't see me cutting. I'm cutting on the bottom, but that's okay. I'll get rid of this. And what I can do is I can layer this on top of here and then this on top of here, so that gives it even more texture, more layers. Alright, so I'm going to grab my adhesive. I'm going to put some adhesive on my card. And I'm going to put that on there like that. Then I'm going to take a piece of ribbon. Now the ribbon does match the new in colors. This is the Pretty in Pink ribbon. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to kind of layer it on top like that. I'm going to just turn that over, add some adhesive. And just lay that down like that. I'm just going to make sure this is straight. And put that there. And I'll give the rest of this piece some adhesive. And all I'm doing is building my card layering. And there I have that piece. Just press it all down. If I don't like the way my ribbon is laying, I could always add a glue dot underneath to keep it flat. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I am going to create my card. Now, you could make this card into anything that you want. I am going to use my Hearts and Hugs stamp set. So I'm going to pull out this stamp set again. And as you can see, this is not how it comes. I did get this as a bundle for 10% off. I got the stamp set and the dies. The dies come separately in a separate folder. I like to take a magnetic sheet and put them all in the stamp set that it comes with. And this way I know, and then I will take my label maker and my dies here. But then everything's together. So when I do go to craft, I have everything right at my fingertips. I don't have to go searching for anything. So that's just how I do things. Okay, so I'm actually going to take our badger right now. And this is sticky, so it'll stay right on our acrylic block. Let me grab an acrylic block. Now these are rubber mounted stamps. They're not photopolymer, so I can't really see through them, but I can see the image. So I can kind of see where I'm stamping. The photopolymer stamps, you can see right through them. So I'm going to grab another piece of scrap paper. And this actually will fit perfectly on there, won't it? Alright, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take these little hearts, and you can kind of see on there's 3 little hearts here, and I'm going to kind of stamp them all over my paper. Kind of fill up that white a little bit. And I'm going to stamp off a little bit just to kind of give it a finished look. And I'm going to turn my stamp as I go, just so they're all not going the same way. Okay, I probably should have. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my badgers, and I'm going to take the copper clay, and I'm going to ink this up, and I'm going to stamp right over those hearts this time. I'm going to stamp him kind of towards the bottom. Okay. And then what I can do is I can take any colored markers that I have, watercolor markers, colored pencils, anything that I have. So I'm going to grab my light copper clay blends, and I'm actually going to color this in a little bit. So you're at ceramics right now, and you're too funny. You're at ceramics and you're watching. So I'm going to actually give this a little bit of color here. Now I'm kind of embarrassed to say that I don't really remember what a badger's colors are, so I am just going to kind of color this in. And it's going to color over those hearts that were there for the layers. Okay. And then I'm going to take a lighter color brown. This is light pecan pie. And I'm going to color in the rest of him. again, you can see I'm kind of doing this fairly quickly. It's covering up those hearts. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I actually forgot the back of his hair, didn't I? Okay, so I'll finish coloring this. And I can go back over it and make it darker and kind of color up those parts that are kind of coming through. You could have done this on another piece of white and just layered it. Okay. I'm going to take my pink and I'm going to do their noses. And then if I really wanted to, I could color in all these hearts. I may color in a couple. Okay, so you can, like I said, you could do this however you want to. It's your card. Alright, and then I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to layer this on top of here with some dimensionals. I actually, all the dimensionals, those are mini dimensionals. Where's my dimensionals? I keep my dimensionals in one of these little envelopes. But as you can see, dimensionals come like this and they have all these little circular or hexagons or little stop signs, I call them. But I also use up the outside as well because nobody can ever see the dimensionals and why waste it? So I usually just cut them to use up all of them and not have any waste, you know. I mean, it's kind of, you're paying for them, so you might as well use them all up. I know another one went flying, I just don't see it. So I'm just put one in each corner and one in the center. And now, because I used a lighter color, and that pink, those little hearts are showing through. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to put those on there. And I have, I'm going to take another piece of paper and re-stamp that because I don't like the way that looks. So let me re-stamp that real quick. And I'm quickly going to fussy cut this out. Now, fussy cutting is just a, well actually, why did I take that off? I want to leave that there. Is just cutting this out with a pair of scissors. You know, I actually do have a die for this. Where is it? So I can run this through the Big Shot. But for right now, I'm just going to fussy cut this out for the sake of time. So you could obviously use the die cut to cut that out. Just going to rough cut this for now because I really don't like the way that looks. And that's the nice thing about stamping, that you can always cover something up. Everything always has two sides to, you know, your creations. Do you prefer the rubber stamps over the clear ones? You know what, Michelle? I actually prefer the clear ones because I can see what I'm stamping. But the rubber stamps really do, sometimes stamp cleaner. I find like with the photopolymer stamps that I sometimes have to use like one of those rubber mats to get a really nice crisp image. Sometimes I feel like some of the image disappears. I know like at the crop you were using the Misty and you felt like you had to keep going over it. So, it really depends on, I guess, what I'm stamping, if I want to take the time to really make sure it is clear, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'm going to put that guy right on top. And I think I'm going to get an even lighter marker. Yeah, you do too, yeah. Like I said, I mean, the photopolymer stamps are great because you can see through them, but there's something to be said about the rubber stamps. I think it gives you more pressure, and you get a cleaner, crisper look to it. Alright, so I just grabbed a colored pencil because I'm really not crazy about this look. And I'm actually going to show you another technique that I wasn't planning on showing you. So like if I color this guy in, I don't know if you can see now if I'm out of the, let me see here. I'm going to color him in roughly. And you're going to see in a minute that you can, what you can do. Okay, so I just kind of colored him in, a little rough, whatever. Now I'm going to take one of these little pens, these blender pens, and I'm going to take the fat side. Can you see the fat side there? And I'm just going to go over this, and you can see how it blends everything. Now, I did not use a Memento ink here to stamp him, so the actual ink is going to blend a little bit with the colored pencil. If you use Memento ink, it wouldn't have done that. But you can see how it kind of takes away, evens it out. And obviously you would take your time. I'm just showing this real quick. And then to clean it, you just kind of go like this. Alright, and then I can take my markers and go in and do a little bit more detail. I can color their noses. I could take one of the markers, kind of give them a little dimension here. Okay. Is that just regular colored pencils? Yeah, you could use regular colored pencils. I do have Stampin' Up pencils, but this one I think is a Crayola one. Yeah, it's a Crazy Art Crayola. I just happened to grab it because that was the first thing I saw. But you could use whatever kind of colored pencil you want. And any kind of blender pen. This one actually is not a Stampin' Up one. But it's the same thing. It has the fine point and the fat point. But I do like these blender pens. It's just another way of coloring, which, or blending. So I'm going to bring my card back in, and now I'm going to cover this up because I think it just looks so much better. I'm going to use some dimensionals again, give it a little bit more pop. Cover that up. And then the last thing that my card really needs is a saying. So I have a little saying that says, sending a big hug. So I'm going to actually take one of my scraps that I used before. I'm going to put him over here so I don't mess him up. I'm going to take some of that copper clay. Stamp out sending a big hug. I am going to fussy cut this guy again. I'm not a fan of fussy cutting at all. I'd much rather use a die. Can't cut a straight line with a ruler to save my life. As you can see here, I did cut that straight. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of the dies from the set. It cuts out a banner. So, Magic Television, I have my banner cut out. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to pop this up with some dimensionals, but I want to put my saying on here first. Is anybody else a messy stamper? I feel like by the time I'm done creating a card, my desk looks like who did it and ran. And I do try to clean up as I go, but no, I just feel like I'm so messy. I hope everybody else is like that. I hope it's not just me. If I'm doing like a big project, oh my god, my craft room looks like I'd be embarrassed if somebody came over. Okay, so I'm just going to take some adhesive and laugh out loud. Yes, I'm so glad because I just feel like sometimes my craft room just looks like a disaster. Alright, so I'm going to put that in the center of the banner. Alright, and then I'm going to pop these up with, I'm going to use the mini dimensionals because it is a little bit smaller. Okay, bring my card back in. Take my paper piercing tool and get those backings off. And then I'm just going to kind of put this up top here, like that. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of these gems. These are our tinsel gems. They come in different colors. This one is kind of like the Pretty in Pink. Oh, I lost one. Now, I found sometimes when I'm taking them off, if they come off there, because they're pre-adhesive, they have adhesive on the back of them. But if you do lose the adhesive on the sheet, which I've done in the past, just take a glue dot, and I'm going to grab my glue dots where they go. Just take a glue dot and put it on, and you can reuse it, which, you know, is great. See? So I lost the adhesive, but I still have, oh, what am I doing? See? I get so distracted. Okay. And I'm going to put another one on. I always try to work in threes. I don't know why. Somebody told me that one time, and I've always tried to do it. Okay. And again, like I said, you could spiffy up this card as much as you want. Like I said, I could add some more coloring of the hearts. I could use some Wink of Stella to make it a little shimmery or shiny. Whatever you really would like to do. So that's it. That's our card. So again, this was the first card that I had shown you. Okay, this is the second. And the technique really is just using an embossing folder, running it through your Big Shot or whatever you have, or cut and emboss, stamp it up, run it through. You're going to come out with your textured paper, and you can color it any way you want to make your own designer series paper. So if you have any questions about any of the products that I used tonight, or if you have any questions about the cards for kindness, please let me know. The new Stampin' Up! Catalog comes out May 2nd, so if you are interested in that, please let me know as well. If you liked this video, please like and share so I know that what I'm doing is good, and I'll keep doing it. And I really appreciate you guys watching. Have a great night, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.